with Nick. We talked some Patriots-Jets yesterday. Mac Jones was solid all day. Pretty dominant Pats win. Pretty mistake-free day for Mac, just 186 yards passing, but he did what he had to do in this one. So, Kevin Wildes, are you impressed by Mac Jones and the Patriots through 2 games?
Jenna, I don't appreciate your read, and we rarely have, beef on this show, you and I, but I don't like the tone of that read. You said, he's solid. Here's what the Patriots are about, everybody. We're about winning games. Bill Belichick doesn't have social media, and I'm sure he doesn't play fantasy football. So while everybody else is out there, Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are trying to beef up your fantasy teams, I guess, or they're doing self-esteem projects, throwing the ball all over the field. Bill Belichick's not doing that. You know how many interceptions Zach Wilson has thrown? Besides 4 yesterday, 5 total. How about old big neck Trevor Lawrence? He's also thrown 5 interceptions. How many has Mac Jones thrown? 0. Because Bill Belichick won't let him. Robert Sala's Zach Wilson, he's got to learn to make smarter plays. Bill, that's not even an option. Mac Jones be like, hey, buddy, that play right there or this one. Those are your options. It's like a kid's meal. You want chicken fingers, the hamburger, or the grilled cheese. That's it. You don't get to go off the board and be like, you know what? I would like the calamari. It's not on the kids' menu. We're growing up right now. So do I feel impressed with Mac Jones? Yes, I do. I feel great about it, Broussard.
Wildes, I could not agree more. A very smart take by you. Look, when I was raising my children, there were a few things you got a chance to watch on TV. All right, I didn't just sit them in front of the TV, give them the remote control, and then say, watch whatever you want. HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, whatever you want. No, you got Nickelodeon, you got a couple choices. All right, and it's the same thing with Mac Jones. Nick, I guess you'd rather, just throw him to the wolves like Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, as Wild said. I mean, this is so smart.
That's correct.
In fact, this is reminiscent, and I'm not even going to say the name because I don't want to put Mac Jones in this category, but it's reminiscent of what happened, about 20 years ago when they had a young quarterback that people didn't expect anything from, and just manage the game. Don't make mistakes. Throw for a couple 100 yards, if that, but just manage the game and don't make mistakes. And our defense and our running game will take care of the rest. And they won a few Super Bowls that way. Now, that's what they are doing with Mac Jones, and they look like the playoff contender that I thought they were, Nick. You can scoff at it all you want, but they are handling Mac Jones perfectly. And yes, I'm impressed.
I'm not going to critique anyone's parenting. We're all guessing and we're all doing our best. And Broussard has 2 grown adult twin daughters that are exceptional human beings. So clearly what his wife did and Broussard commented on worked. However, to Wild's analogy, you ever met a 25-year-old? It's like, hey, what do you want for dinner? Chicken fingers? What are you ordering in the restaurant? Chicken. Some folks never grow out of it. You've met them, and I've met them. And your whole, Trevor Lawrence thrown 5 interceptions. That sounds like a ton. You know the last quarterback to throw more in his first 2 games? Maybe you've heard of him. Peyton Manning. You know why? Because they were trying to let him grow. Well, yeah, number 1 pick of the draft, number 1 player out of high school. Seems actually pretty reasonable to compare Trevor Lawrence to Peyton Manning. Can we show Mac Jones what they're letting him do? They're not only are they making him order off the kids menu, they're cutting up his food for him and setting it in his mouth like a baby bird. He's week 1, he at least a few times pushed it downfield. Week 2, nope. Check. Now show me my large neck son, Trevor Lawrence. Now is there some red on there?
God.
Yeah, there is. But my guy is spraying it. My guy is like, can I make this throw? Yep. Can I make this throw? Nope. So, hey, if your goal is simply to eke out wins, fine. That's the offense you should be running if you had signed Teddy Bridgewater. If your goal is to develop a quarterback, this is not the process for it. And it's like, the Patriots have such history developing quarterbacks. No, they don't. They got Tom Brady, and that's it. They didn't, and so this idea that
pretty
this
good.
is the way to go about it, no. Yeah, it was pretty good. And if you believe that Brady would have stunk if he'd been asked to push the ball downfield, that's fine. But I will take the Trevor Lawrence learning as you go as opposed to the Mac Jones, who's going to be one of the 14-year-old kids that still needs training wheels on his bike. Because it's like, no, can't let him fall. God forbid a skinned knee, Jenna. God forbid.
Baby bird, Mac Jones.
Growth,
Baby bird. Hey, can we talk some Jameis Winston? Took a step backwards yesterday after his 5-touchdown performance in Week 1. The quarterback came way.
Browns Texans. How many great running backs do the Browns need? I guess they got another one, Demetric Felton. It's his first ever offensive touch, goes for 33 yards, one amazing spin move, drops 3 Texans. Browns win, and that's the weird and wonderful from the national pastime.
All right, good stuff. Time to run the no-huddle. So Dak Prescott and the Cowboys picked up win number 1 yesterday in L.A. against the Chargers. Zeke got fed. Tony Pollard did too. Balanced attack, unlike back in Week 1. Prescott led Dallas on an 11-play drive to set up Greg Zuerlein's 56-yard game-winning, there it is, split those uprights, field goal. Dak was happy and confident after this one. Take a listen.
To be able to come out here and get a win, get a road win against a good team, I think it's special, and it's just a building block. It's the first win, as I said, of many, and it was hard to get. And credit to the guys on the other side. That was a fight, but our team stayed resilient, stayed committed to one another, and we're able to go get that win.
Go get that win. A much more balanced attack this week for Mike McCarthy's Cowboys offense. Take this in. They racked up 435 yards of offense. Hey, Chris Broussard, how should we feel about the Cowboys through 2 games now?
Well, there's a lot of good to take from it, and I get where Dak's coming from. For him to beat a team with a winning record was big because he had lost 10 of his last 12 games against teams with winning records. So that is a positive. The run game, as you saw from the stats, was a positive. Ezekiel Elliott looked good. Tony Pollard looked great. That's interesting to watch there because Tony Pollard looks better than Zeke right now. And Zeke looked solid yesterday, but Pollard looked special yesterday. But they did have the balance. I actually would have liked to have seen them throw it a little bit more, let Dak do his thing, but they were running it so well that they stuck with it, so I get it. But here's the thing, right? They don't look like a contender right now. They look like a team that can win the sorry NFC East, all right, and a team that can maybe win a playoff game, but not a team that's a threat to go to the Super Bowl. They could easily be 0-2. All right, it was good for them to get the win, but the Chargers had tons of self-inflicted wounds. 2 penalties on the Chargers that cost them touchdowns, literally cost them touchdowns. So the Chargers could have won that game, and then Dallas would be staring at 0-2. But it's good to learn from mistakes in a win better than learn from mistakes in a loss. So they're what I thought they were, Nick.
Yeah, it only took 34 minutes, but Broussard finally got something right this morning. Tony Pollard's better than Zeke, and that's a problem for the Cowboys. It's good they have a legitimate quality NFL running back. It's bad that it's not the one on the $90 million contract. Tony Pollard was far better than Zeke yesterday, and Zeke was fine, but Pollard was clearly the better player. The Cowboys should feel good. They went on the road technically, even though that was a Cowboys home crowd, the way I said on Friday it would be, and got the win. And their defense held the Chargers to 17 points, but only, the defense was better, but not nearly as good as the points would suggest. A lot of long drives, some Herbert interceptions, some drives that stalled out. Broussard mentioned the 2 touchdowns that were taken off the board. So the Cowboys defense not quite as good as the final score might suggest. But they should feel good they got a win that I thought they were going to lose. I thought they were going to start the year 0-2. But the biggest story to me from this game, and what should make Cowboys fans the most anxious, is Mike McCarthy is clueless. Folks might think I'm too hard on coaches. Nobody can watch what the Cowboys did in the final 3:56 of this game. They got the ball with 3:56 and 2 timeouts, and they end up field goal range. Coach, it's a 56-yarder, and our kicker's got a bad back. Nope! No need to use a timeout. No need to try to get it closer. We're in field goal range. Listen, field goal range is not a binary thing. It's not either you're in it or you're out of it. Once you get in it, you can get in better field goal range. And McCarthy's his excuses after the game